and he unfortunately passed away in the accident. However, the assistant loco pilot survived the accident, and currently he's in a deep state of shock. And once a preliminary report is out, that's when we'll come to know what exactly caused the accident. And as far as operations are concerned, both the upline and downline have been restored, and trains are running on the route.
All right. Thank you, Danish, for getting us those important details. So the inquiry has formally begun now. We're joined by T.S. Ramakrishnan, railway expert, and Sudhanshu Mani, former railway officer, joining us on the program. Mr. Mani, let me begin by asking you, we've seen this during the Coromandel train accident as well, that the loco pilot had jumped the signal, all the red flags had been ignored. Why do you think this has happened? Of course, the railways has said that this particular route did not have the Kavach system, which could have brought the train to a halt. But under what conditions? And as my colleague Danish was pointing out, that the loco pilot had already been informed that there is a defective signal here. You need to go slow, possibly at a speed of 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. But why was this ignored?
First of all, in case of Coromandel Express, the case was different. That was a case where signals were, equipment were manipulated, and there was no fault of the driver because he got a signal to go ahead. In this case, as your reporter was saying, if that is the case, and that's what was announced yesterday by Chairman Railway Board, assuming that was the case, if Kavach was fitted in the network and on the train, it would have avoided the accident by stopping the train, even if the driver was not stopping it. That's one. And after 1 minute, had the driver started, it would not have allowed, the Kavach system would not have allowed the train to pick up good speed, which it had. You see, looking at the impact, one can see that the train was definitely above 40 kilometers per hour. But another aspect has come to light today, and that is that the driver was given an authority to proceed. In automatic signaling, you don't need that authority. That authority exists. You can stop at a signal for 1 minute during the day, 2 minutes during the night, and then proceed at a caution speed. It seems it's possible that the station master of the station which the train passed has given this authority without ensuring line clear. Line clear means the previous train, Kanchanjunga, has cleared the section. Only then he can give an authority to proceed all red signals with caution or without caution, whatever the memo said. So these things are a subject of inquiry right now. But if the former is true, if the driver did disregard the signal, then Kavach would have totally prevented it. And that makes a good case that Kavach should be rolled out on much faster priority than it is at present.
Right. Now, in terms of the target, it is only on very limited number of routes and trains where the Kavach system is actually deployed. By when do you think, or what kind of a push would it take to make sure that all the routes for which the tender has been issued for the Kavach system, there the protection system is successfully deployed? And where do you think the issue lies, Mr. Mani?
So as of now, only 1,400 odd kilometers in South Central Railway are equipped with Kavach, and this has been some years. After that, there are sanctions and so on. What we have to note is that money is not a problem today. Enough money is being pumped in by central government into railways. So funds, which is always a problem, is not a problem today. Number one. So you can, as fast as you can execute, money is not going to be a problem. It's the question of execution. So I would think that it should become priority number one. And if it becomes the main focus of railways, I think the system can gear itself to do, say, 3,000 to 4,000 kilometers every year. And in 5-6 years, all the major trunk route, busy routes can be covered.
Right. Yeah. That indeed is an important point. Mr. Ramakrishnan, to get you in at this stage. Now, issues because of ignoring signals or signaling errors, there have been some very bad train accidents in the country as a result. Now, till the time the Kavach system is successfully deployed across the busiest routes in the country, how do we prevent such incidents?
Well, so there is no, single silver bullet solution for this, because the accidents vary, according to the cause. For example, there are many smaller accidents that are happening due to derailment. There are some rear-end head-on collisions, accidents like this, which is also happening. And then there can be, accident on the level crossings, manned level crossings also, because although the manned level crossings prohibit road traffic crossing with the rail traffic, still there will be some vehicles which will ram into the level crossing gate and then stop at the middle of the truck, and then it can create a accident. So instead of looking at one aspect of safety, rear end collision or the front head-on collision, the railway should look at safety in a holistic perspective. In the sense, they must look at this rear end, and because normally the casualties with the rear end and head-on collisions will be higher than the casualties in other accidents. But the cost incurred to the railway in terms of delay in services, then recovering the line for regular traffic, all will be there for every accident. So irrespective of how many casualties are there or not. So the government, the railway should look at
Mr.
all
Ramakrishnan,
the
one
three
final
issues.
question. Right.
Yeah,
I would
tell
like
me.
to ask you one more question. In every budget, there is an outlay for the railways. There is an outlay on railway safety measures. Is it an issue of not having enough funds for railway safety? Or is it an issue of how and whether those funds are utilized successfully? Is there a lack of audits being conducted to make sure that these defects in the signals are being done away with? What do you think are the issues on the ground when it comes to railway safety?
Fine. So suppose the central government, budget allocates say 2 lakh crores for railways, both from the budgetary resources as well as from the non-budgetary resources. Then it is for the railway to prepare a pink book. They call it as pink book. Pink book is a book where actually they will list out all the projects that they wanted to carry out in various zones, and how much allocation they wanted to make it to different projects. So this includes new tracks, then replacement of existing tracks, then replacing the signaling systems which have become very old and dilapidated. So, and level crossings or building flyovers. So there are plenty of things, including replacing the rolling stock, old rolling stock with the new rolling stock. So there are plenty of things that the railway will have in the pink book. It's a book for each and every zone separately, and then cumulatively the entire amount will be distributed. So it is a question of how they prepare, how Indian Railway prepares a pink book. If they prepare the pink book in such a way that they allocate more funds for the safety aspects, whether it is cover system or whether it is replacing the older rails, because the rails which are already served its purpose should be replaced, or whether it is replacing other track infrastructure, or for that matter pantograph or signaling systems. So it is for the Indian Railways to prepare the pink book based on the requirements. So there is nothing like there is